Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I've got some little clusters that I'd like to make with you today. Nothing strange, nothing you haven't seen before, but it's part of the process that I'm doing to make these lovely paper bag pockets. So I just thought I'd take you through start to finish of making a cluster and doing one of these. So I've got my paper glue, which I need. That one's nearly out, but that's wonderful. I've got my tags, which I need to put thread in. I've got my pockets. I'm not going to paint them because that just gets lost in amongst the clusters and everything else. But I could do a little bit of stamping on it, just to give it a little bit of background. Now this is a little cheap stamp I bought many years ago from a place here in Adelaide called Cheapest Chips, when they used to have a lot of craft out for our pleasure. So let me just get a acrylic block and my black pad. Let's do a little bit of stamping on these before we go any further. Now I'm using VersaFine Clair. The colour is Nocturne, which is black. Move that glue across there, sorry, reaching in front of you. I think I'll start all the way at the top and work down. Actually, I'll turn that around because I like the idea of it being like that. That's kind of cool. Now, where's my grungy sheet that I use for when I'm stamping over the edge? I don't need to cover this completely, it doesn't need it. Well, I rather like that. Okay, I'll just pop that over there to dry. Now this one I will just do randomly everywhere. And it doesn't matter if some of the stamp doesn't show. There and just faintly there. So same stamp, two different effects just by putting it in different places. Okay. Let's do two more with the same stamp. Yep, we'll go there and there and there and a little bit there. You're not going to see most of this, you're only going to see parts of it because it's going to be covered with a cluster. Okay, and last one. Well, let's do this one upside down for a change. Why not? Well, that looks kind of nice. A little bit there and a little bit here, and we're done. Okay, so that's the stamping done. I'll just get my baby wipe and clean the stamp off. I don't like putting them away dirty. Nothing worse than getting a stamp from a pack to use and it's still grubby. Not keen on that at all. Okay, I can put this one away. Okay, now shall I leave this out for now. That's the cleaner side. Okay, now clusters are just bits of paper and bits of scraps that you've got left hanging around in your scrap box or in your bag or after you're crafting, whatever. But I save all of mine and put them in here. And once this bag gets really full, like it has been the last few days, I sit down and I make clusters. So that's what I'm doing today, is making clusters. It can be anything. It can be the side of a tissue box, which I've split so that it's a lot thinner and it won't bow up like that and stick down on your work the way it shouldn't do. I've got a piece of paper out of a book. Let's stick these down as we're going, shall we? Now, I'm not going to have them all over the place. I'm going to have them fairly squared on. It's just my choice for these bags so that they look a little they just look. I don't say nicer, but that's not quite the truth. And I'm not using a lot of glue. You don't need to use a lot of glue to hold these things in place. You can make them a little crooked, but I don't want them all over the shop. Little piece of coffee dyed paper. There's a few ways you can do clusters. You can make them like this, or you can put them all together and staple them so that they stay in place. Now that's the edge of a doily. I cut the middle out of the doily and made something else for another journal and had these little borders left, so I thought, okay, I can use them in my clusters. Why not? And a little bit of cardboard that I had stitched and used elsewhere, so this is the remnants of that. And yes, I did put a lot of glue on that because it's shiny paper, and sometimes shiny paper doesn't want to stick. Now that's a little cluster done. It needs a focal point though. What can I put on it? What have I got over here? Oh, that's too big. That's just lace. Oh, there's a tag I could put on it. It's a little bit big. Right, if I put that there, oh, that still needs another focal point, doesn't it? I'm still going to put that on there. I'm just going to get into this little paper pad because I'm sure I've still got some punch outs in here. Yeah. Let's use a little hedgehog. He's small enough to go on there. Cute. Yeah, he looks sweet. Let's get some ink around him. Now I use this one for this. Because the silver, the gold dots on there are a little bit metallic-y, and they may not stick to the glue. I've had paper like that before where I've gone to glue it and or stamp on it and it's still been wet 2 days later, so use the good stuff. If I can get it down. There we go. Now for my little shout out today, I'd like to say hello to Freya. She watches my videos, sometimes binge watches, and leaves a comment for me to read, which is absolutely gorgeous. So hi Freya, how you doing? I hope you're well. Freya is a YouTube member. She's a follower, not she is a crafter, but she doesn't do YouTube videos, which is a pity because I think her work is stunning. Okay, so now I'm going to stick this onto the front of the brown paper packet or pocket. That looks kind of cute. I like that. Now, into that, we need to put a tag. Excuse me. Let me see. That one's got flourishes. Yep, this one will do. I've already stamped all around this one and inked it, so that's all good. Now I need to put a little piece of ribbon in there. There we go. And that's another little pocket done. That can now be used in a journal as a pocket. You could stick it onto your page and have a pocket here, and if you glue 3 edges, you'd be able to put another tag into that area there as well. Or also, you could use it as a tab if you put some fabric or another piece of card on the back. You can then glue that piece there to there and have an extension, fold it over and glue it down so that this would fold as a flap. So there's a couple of things you can do with them. But I just enjoy making. They are so much fun. I have done quite a few of these, but let's do another one so that once again you can see another method of making your clusters. And I'll bring my stapler over because that's my other method. Glue stuck to me now. Sticky stuff. Okay, once again, I have all scraps that I've I've used for other different things. So they're going to be a cluster. So there's the blue one. Let's do this in size. That one there. Or we could put the music sheet underneath there, because it's a little bit longer. Definitely put this one underneath because it is... No, I'll put that on top, I think. And I'll put the music, or not music, I'll put a piece of book paper over that way. This piece of pretty green paper here. And then a piece of lace can sit in the middle. And then all I do is line up my stapler somewhere in the middle so it gets everything. Now test it to make sure that you've got all of the little pieces caught by that stapler. And we know that those pieces there are definitely caught. I could have turned that round the other way. I think I might undo that, because I forgot to check the other side, didn't I? It's much prettier. Okay, so I'll just hold all those bits in place and turn that. Oh, that's much prettier. That's nice. I like having that floral down there. It looks really lovely. Okay, let's put the stapler back in, or the staple back in. And there you go. I'm going to round the corners on that because I think that would look really lovely. You can tear your scraps and make your things really scrappy, which looks lovely as well. So that's another way you can do it. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just want to make sure I've got these things lined up enough so that the stapler will do its thing. Okay, that can go in the middle there. I must have had some double-sided tape on that, because that's not moving in a hurry. Okay, that's fine by me too. there. Actually, I'll move that over a little bit because I'd like that stitching to show. That's kind of nice. Put that bit on an angle. A little bit of doily. And that to cover the top. And if you want to put focal points on these, you can do. This one's fairly large. Let's do this one as well. That came off a piece of shaped scrapbook paper that I've used elsewhere. Oh, that's been taped down as well. That's Japanese paper. So that can sit up there on the square. Music paper can go over that way, and coffee dyed paper. Look at that. It's solid colour on the back, and she's turned it over and let it drizzle all over the back, and I think that's just gorgeous. Okay, and one more. I'm doing the staple method at the moment. It's a lot faster. Okay, I want the torn edges down so that we can see them. Piece of coffee dyed paper. I might put that up that way so it can be seen a little more. Then the stitched paper. I'll get that one underneath this green one because otherwise the doily might not get caught all together. But if it's sandwiched, it'll be okay. Alright, so that's 4 clusters. I've got one on the pouch, and that looks wonderful. So let's put the others on pouches as well. And put my stapler back out of the way. And the corner rounder, I don't need that. I don't need the ink anymore at the moment, so that can go away. Okay, that's cleared the decks a little bit nicer. Nicer. Now there's a good word for you. Nicer. Oh my goodness. Don't know where my brain goes sometimes. It goes on holidays, I'm sure of it. Okay, tag with a bit of ribbon. Oh, we can put busy bees in this one. Okay, so that's number 2 done. Number 3 coming up. I'll go through my embellishments box and find a focal point for these off camera. I know you'll forgive me for that. She can go in there. She will look lovely. I'm using approximately 4 inches of ribbon. They don't need to be any bigger than that because I think that's more than enough to have at the top. I leave her just poking up a little bit. You can see the pink and the mauve through there onto that one. Last one for this video. Big blob of glue, because I forgot to shut the lid down. I was in so much of a hurry to show you what I'm doing. Now, for those who don't know what clusters are, this is what they are, just little scraps of paper or fabric just put together and then used as an embellishment. Okay, now that will not bubble. Turn this around the right way. And it's straight, that's good. Now I think I'll put this lovely lady in there. Let's put a ribbon on first though. Okay, there's 4 more of those done. And I still have quite a few clusters here to make and quite a few tags that I can use. So I'm a bit impressed with myself. I have been clever making stuff. Okay, let me hold these up so you can see them a little better. There's 2. There is the other 2. So thank you very, very much for joining me to watch this little creative time. I will catch up with you in another video where I have a journal to show you. So stay calm, keep crafting, and keep smiling. Love you heaps. Bye-bye.